Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering The Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 6, The Dark Horse Essential Edition. This was published in 2009 by Dark Horse Comics when, of course, they had the license to the Conan properties. And it collects the black and white Savage Sword magazine, issues 61 through 71. So it's over 500 pages of incredible Conan goodness. And if you've watched my coverage of the previous 5 volumes, you know you're going to be in for a treat if you're a Savage Sword Conan fan. These are printed on newsprint and they capture the essence, if not the size, at least the essence of the appearance of the Savage Sword series. Incredible stuff. So let's dive in here. Mike Richardson is the publisher. Collection editor is Philip Simon. Assistant editor, Patrick Thorpe. Original series editor was Louise Jones. And interesting here that we have what looks like some Buscema Chan, because this issue will feature our first really large dose of Ernie Chan in Savage Sword, along with a mix of other interesting artists. A lot of John Buscema, of course, as well. But we're going to get Chan as an inker and a penciler in this volume. Nice pinup here from Judith Marcos and Pablo Marcos. Never seen that team up before. I'm assuming Judith is his wife. So issue 61, cover by Joe Chiodo. The Wizard Fiend of Zingara. And this is a nice way to start. We get a nice Tony DeZanuga pinup here, because this is another one of those great all John Buscema art issues. So it's John Buscema inks, John Buscema pencils. I love when Buscema inks himself. Really nice. I have to point out, this horned helmet on Conan just looks ridiculous. And of course, Beyond the Black River, he's always portrayed wearing it. And obviously he has it in this issue too. So, oh man, I say it every time because it's so apparent every time that John Buscema just draws the most beautiful women. I just love it. Lovely open panel here. His storytelling, the use of open and closed panels on the same page, is always flawless. You're rarely in a Buscema story left wanting in terms of where to look next for the flow of the story itself. We get our first major fight scene here. Really lovely action, fierce action from Buscema on this. Here's Conan redonning his ridiculous horned helmet. This poor fellow here, is Conan going to help him? They seem to be allied. I don't think I've ever read this story. I don't have the original Savage Sword 61. I have a nice collection of single Savage Sword issues, which maybe over a few shows I'll show those off too. But, oh no, his companion is murdered here by this horrible fiend. Oh no, as this is very similar to what happens in the Conan movie here, as Conan is falling afoul of some kind of witch woman. Oh, great appearance of these are both witch women here. Very cool. Oh, he decapitates her and stabs her through the neck. His poor friend is gone. Now Conan pauses a moment, kneeling by the blood-smeared corpse of the giant. Life comes cheaply into this world, he muses, and oftentimes departs cheaply still. So, very sad. Conan's companions often come to a bad end, I have found. One could cite Belit, chief among them, probably one of the few who has avoided such a fate is Red Sonja, who never stays with Conan very long, and maybe that's her key to surviving. Oh, look at this giant moray eel, really cool. Yeah, I love the way Buscema draws action against human foes, but he's equally adept at drawing the monstrous denizens of the Hyborian age, and we get to see it on display here, along with environmental threats, of course, like drowning and flooding and crashing castles and things of that nature. Conan's going to rescue this woman. This corpulent torturer doesn't know what he's in for here. Great panel here showing this fiendish fellow's features up close. And he is no match for Conan as he slays him with his own whip. Frees her, only to watch her die in his arms. Another sad. This is a lot of these stories are tragic in their essence. Conan's dealing with the corrupt nobles. He leaves her and travels on. So issue 62, Temple of the Tiger, cover art by David Mattingly. Not super wild about this cover, but I mean, all the Savage Sword covers, when you see them in color, they're really generally pretty striking. Great Ernie Chan pinup here, Conan fighting this Jin. And we have our first pairing, I think, maybe in the series. Maybe not. I'll have to go back and recheck. It's an early pairing in Savage Sword anyway of John Buscema and Ernie Chan. And man, this is so good. Temple of the Tiger. Here, Conan is a pirate again. Just the richness. And there's such a stark difference between what you get in this issue and what you got in the previous issue. The lines are so much heavier. Everything is so much richer and deeper. There's an elegance to what we had when Buscema was inking his own pencils, but this is, to me, kind of the next level of illustration. Wow, that's really nice. There are times when Ernie Chan's inks will dominate Buscema's pencils, and I think you lose some of that, but this one is an example of a really good pairing of our two. And here's Conan's own sea dogs are turning on him. That happens quite often too. Is his barbaric chivalry does not match up well with the piratic attitude towards plunder and rapine. So he gets, of course, knocked on the head. They're going to throw him overboard when a storm strikes. Oh yes, classic. Love this great white shark attack here. Really cool. Some cool Conan underwater action as he fearlessly faces down the man-eater. And here's some tiger riding tribes people. Very cool. Awesome temple. You get great vistas in Savage Sword. Great set piece locations that are cool. And of course, looks like Conan here is, yes, he's in some kind of arena where he has to fight his own men who've also been captured. Love the banded armor that he's wearing here and the use of the shield and battle axe, which isn't, but Conan uses an axe by a number of times in his adventures, but not always. It's usually the broadsword, so it's cool to see him use other weaponry. Oh, and here he throws it. Nice depiction of how it flips in the air and careens into this guy's neck with a gory splat. Oh my, some kind of tiger man here. We get some origins as to this cult here. Of course, it was inevitable. Conan fights a Bengal tiger before it's going to devour this child. Some kind of obscene offering, single-handedly in this great sequence, which I'll read. Down, damn your eyes, fall, gasping for air. Now the tiger lunges forward, striving vainly to free itself from Conan's vice-like grasp. But the carnivore's effort is doomed. Slowly and inexorably, Conan drags the great beast groundward, then wrenches his fists twixt the great cat's jaws and pulls. till the savage beast's backbone shatters with a savage crunch of bone, leaving Conan sprawled across his twitching carcass, his own mighty lungs straining for the taste of air. Beautiful sequence and nice exposition there from our writer. Really cool. Gorgeous horses that Chan and Buscema draw. Just really nice. Oh, and here's the were-tiger. Very cool. The other natural tiger's attacking the were-tiger. Oh no, and this cruel woman has her life drained by the were-tiger. This sort of reminiscent almost of the Rakshasa from D&D, that very powerful, monstrous foe in D&D. And again, Conan finds himself alone, wandering on horseback at the end of the tale. Here we have a Gil Kane pinup, and I think we're going to get a Gil Kane story at some point coming soon. Oh, I love this Joe Jusko cover. So nice. Really cool. And this one is John Buscema and Ernie Chan with Tom Palmer and Bob McLeod. So really some strong inking on this Moat of Blood issue. Nice pinup from Alex Toth. We've seen this before. I think I covered this in my coverage of the Art of Savage Sword of Conan, that book. Probably my most successful video on the site to date. But yeah, beautiful, gorgeous Alex Toth. What would have been if Alex Toth had actually done a complete Conan story? It would have been incredible. But Buscema and Chan are no slouches. That's for sure. As again, Conan finds himself in trouble, imprisoned. But no one can ever account for his savage strength, and he always manages to escape. Just really, again, I've mentioned it before, just love the texture, the sound, and I know you guys can't smell it, but the actual smell of newsprint to me has its own intoxicating effects. I just love it. It's something that modern comics really lack, the full sensory experience. Does anyone draw corpulent villains better than Buscema? Really good. Look at here's our eponymous Moat of Blood. Really cool. I like a good siege. Okay, and here we can see we've shifted now. This is not Ernie Chan here. This is McLeod or Palmer. Probably Palmer inks in this part. That's definitely Tom Palmer right there on Buscema pencils. This might be McLeod here. I think this is McLeod as well. So team effort on this story. There must have been some kind of deadline crunch, as this corpulent despot is fallen victim to the creature, the plant creature, in his own Moat of Blood. Fitting end. Conan gets the gal, and once again, beautiful. Chapter 4, The Children of Ron, covered by Joe Jusko. Another Toth pinup. They were kind of parceling them out here. This one, they usually list the creators at the bottom, but I'm gonna say this is Buscema. Yeah, this looks like Buscema Chan. I'm gonna make sure though. Yeah, it's Buscema Chan. So really nice. Conan fighting some primitives here. Love the bridge. Really cool. Conan leaps upon the flimsy transom and makes the longest dash of his life. It is his second calculated risk of the day. Halfway across, he realizes it is his second bad one. So they don't follow him. Oh, cool. cool. A lot of artists have trouble drawing children, but I think Buscema does a nice job here. I guess, you know, kids are kind of hard to draw. People always sort of point out one of John Byrne's few flaws is his kids tend to look a little bit weird. Here we have that little girl and then a grown woman who looks like a version of her. So there's some weird stuff going on here. Oh, love this sequence here. Him taking out this bully. Oh no. Oh yeah. Every volume has some kind of ape man, ape creature. Here we go here. The old drinking game. Conan fights an ape. Take a drink. Here we go. Oh, this is a she-ape. Really cool. Oh man, this is drawn so well. Very cool. Oh my gosh, there's just the wanton violence here. Oh, this is not something that could have appeared in a regular Conan comic. Wow, just ripping the head off that poor guy. Wow. And of course, more than they bargained for taking Conan on here, even on this rickety bridge. And of course, when the bridge does collapse, Conan has the reflexes to hang on. The creature does not. And it turns out the creature was his one-time lover in the story. So another tragic end. Here we are, 65, The Fangs of the Serpent. Here's a nice Joe Chiodo, Terry Austin pinup. Who does this beautiful cover? Joe Chiodo. And this is a Michael Fleischer script and a Gil Kane story. Gil Kane, consummate storyteller. I've said it in the past. I'm not a fan of his Conan. I don't really like his Conan figure work. Just the Gil Kane isms, for lack of a better descriptor, just are not as appealing to me as some of the other artists who graced these pages over the past volumes and the volumes to come. Again, Gil Kane is a brilliant storyteller, though, and these layouts are gorgeous, and it's certainly not unpleasant. It's just not what I would prefer in my Conan. Cool serpent temple there. Nice long panel. Yeah, this is a brilliant panel arrangement here. Really good storytelling. Crom and Mitra, one of Conan's favorite epithets. There he is using the battle axe again. That looks like a hand axe, really. Sea of No Return, Chapter 6, Issue 66. Covered by Joe Chiodo again. Oh, yes, nice return. Here we have Ernie Colan and Ernie Chan. This is going to be a very interesting pairing. And here was a great Luke McDonald, Bob Layton pinup. This is definitely the first Luke McDonald. This would have been an early Luke McDonald, very young Luke McDonald, with nice inks by Bob Layton. Love this Spanish tile roof they did here. So yeah, let's dive into this one. Sea of No Return, Ernie Colan and Ernie Chan. This is going to be a very interesting pairing. You can definitely see the difference in the underlying figure work. But Ernie Chan just dominates these pencils. Look at this dwarfish individual here. Taking a swing at Conan. Yeah, you really can't see any Ernie Colan. This could have been anyone. This could have been, I don't know, Mike Vosburg doing the pencils. There's really nothing recognizable. This is pretty much all Ernie Chan's. Amazing, detailed, rich, and heavy line on top of the very workmanlike layouts of Ernie Colan. I love this little storytelling bit here with the medallion inset panel, giving a little more exposition. All right, but if I ever hear you say aught against the princess, you shall reckon anew with stub and not in jest. So this guy's name is Stub, which I guess is maybe some form of destiny. Oh, nice exposition here. I love this. I love when they do stuff like this. And of Stub, small yet somehow sinister, court's jester. So this Stub character is a tricky individual. Oh, and Conan imprisons him in this basket. This is a fun story. I think I'm going to read this one in detail on my own. Don't have time to obviously read it here because we have so much to cover when I go through these volumes. I just want to give folks a taste of what they get. And really what I'm hoping to do by showing these off is, number one, sharing these amazing stories and amazing pages of artwork, but also giving people an idea of whether a particular volume or all the volumes are worth tracking down. The later we get into the series, and it went 22 volumes of reprints for Savage Sword from Dark Horse, the more expensive the volumes get, because I believe the print runs decreased over time as interest waned for whatever reason. Nice Bill Sienkiewicz and Brent Anderson pin up there. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is volume 6, the one we're looking at, worth it for you to track down? And that's what I hope to amass as a resource on this YouTube channel, is stuff like this, so people understand if something is worth their while or not to get. So this is issue 67, Plunder of Death Island. Romas Koukalis is the cover artist. This might be one that I own. Nice Gil Kane pin up there. I kind of like that. So this is Buscema and Alcala with Kerry Gamel. This is nice. See, Alcala and Chan both wield a heavy line when it comes to inking, but there's just a subtle difference in Alcala. I think in some cases I prefer the Alcala to the Chan because I think it's just, he picks his spots better for the heaviest blacks and the heaviest lines. Not to say I don't like Chan's work on Buscema. I really do, especially in this title versus the color title. But, you can have favorites, and I prefer Alcala to Chan overall. And remember, early on in volumes 1 and 2, we got a ton of Buscema Alcala. Love this woman's look here. Really cool how her hair is bound up like that above her head, like a beehive. Gorgeous again. Just great stuff. Oh, these guys, these shambling, ghoulish warriors in the hold of this, it looks like in a dungeon of some kind. Great open panel here showing this action. Really cool. Conan snapping his change. I love the musculature there. Just really gorgeous. And Buscema's command of the human form was such that he rarely required any kind of swipes or anything of that, a morgue file of the human physiognomy. He probably just did this. And of course, Alcala is just going in and enhancing everything. Oh man, that's cool. These ghoulish. I guess this is in the hold of a ship. Yeah. Very cool. Half-sunken ship. Great place for a fight. Look at that. That's incredible. That's really the first we've seen of this kind of shot in all 6 volumes. It's really cool. Conan fighting his way into the room of the lower hold of a ship against a mass of foes. Yeah. This time, a couple of his compatriots survive. That's unusual. Next up, '68, Black Cloaks of Ophir, Joe Jusko cover, really cool. And this is an all Ernie Chan extravaganza here. Nice pinup by Joe Chiodo there. Black Cloaks of Ophir. Interesting title look there for that lettering or that font. This is a Roy Thomas story too. It's interesting how Chan, all by himself, it's almost sometimes he has looks like a lighter touch, a more open line than when he's inking Buscema. I love these warrior women here, really cool, all shapes and sizes, awesome. Crom, more warrior women. How many females can there be in this man's world who can haft axe, sword, and shield? There be not many of us wayfarer, but the Iron Maidens have weighed heavily on the scales of Ophir. So that's great. So you have it like an all-female mercenary unit, the Iron Maidens. And there would be a group of female adventurers who show up in the later issues of Savage Sword, closer to 100, and then they show up repeatedly after issue 100 that I really like those stories. I'd be excited to get to those when we make our way slowly there over the course of the next months and hopefully years. It's going to take a little while for me to work my way through all 22 volumes. I don't like to do them back to back. I like to kind of space things out. I have a lot of interest when it comes to comics. I dig superheroes. I obviously love Conan and Sword and Sorcery too, and other things in between, pulp, those sorts of stories. So I don't strictly cover one thing or another. I've been kind of remiss. I haven't shown off much DC stuff in a while, but I'll get back to that. Oh, wow, this is incredible, this full page. Holy moly. Crom, I'm in the royal tomb, whose corpses have all been pulled from their sarcophagi. And there's the devil who's done the deed. Oh, man, that's great. Really cool. Oh, he smites him, sends him running away. Here's Conan. This is the fight scene from the cover, essentially. Oh, no. Looks like they both die. And again, Conan riding away alone. Issue 69, Eye of the Sorcerer, cover by Joe Jusko. Chan and Alfredo Alcala. This should be fascinating. Nice Pablo Marcos pin up there. I don't know if I've ever seen a Chan Alcala team up before, but I like what I'm seeing. Really gorgeous. You're just, again, in the regular comic, you weren't getting this level of artwork. Obviously, you weren't getting this length of story. These stories are epic. They span 40 plus pages, and they're just so much more substantial than what you were getting in the color comic. And like we said before, more sex, more violence. It was definitely a more adult vibe. Oh, wow, look at this kind of crazy bear sloth creature. Oh, Conan gets a hand here. Survives with some scratches. Love this shot of the caravan. Really nice. Traveling sequence. Oh, another cool, massive edifice or temple. A gorgeous butterfly there. Valanya is this woman's name. Oh my, looks like she's shape-shifting into a tiger. This guy was a pig. This guy's got a third eye. There's some crazy stuff going on here. Conan transforms into a lion, very fitting. His moniker, Amra, the lion. Oh, this guy right in his third eye. Oh, and he's decapitated. Oh my goodness. Again, some survivors with Conan, including his ally who helped him with the bear. Next up, number 70. Earl Nora, my favorite Savage Sword cover artist, returns with, oh yeah, that looks like almost like an Umber Hulk from D&D there. The Dweller in the Depths. And this is John Buscema and Steve Mitchell. I love this combination. Steve Mitchell is an underrated inker, doesn't get talked about enough. I believe he was part of that great Iron Man run with Luke McDonnell. Sort of the second demon in a bottle. Gorgeous. On the bearskin rug, of course. Some corrupt potentate, perhaps. Working our way through here, folks. Almost to the end. I'm going to speed up a little, just because we've been going a little while. And I do like to be thorough. I like you to see every page, but I don't want to linger too long. Oh, love the shading there. Really cool. Yeah. This is an interesting combination, Steve Mitchell and John Buscema. Ant-Man, literal Ant-Man. Very cool. Oh, man, this is some gruesome stuff here. A lot of decapitations in this volume. There's another one. Oh, there's that sickening slug creature again. Oh, gorgeous statue there. Oh, and there's the big bad of the piece. The Dweller in the Depths. And the statue is used to do it in. Again, we have a couple survivors, along with Conan. Chapter 11, The Lurker in the Labyrinth. A nice Joe Chiodo cover. And then we have Buscema Chan. Carl Potts. Interesting Carl Potts pinup. And we can immediately, you see that you turn the page and you know it's Buscema Chan. It's just got that incredibly rich, detailed, lush artwork. Just full, everything is fully finished. There isn't a single thing in any panel that's left rough. Like that Steve Mitchell inking on Buscema and that issue story I just went through, there was a lot of loose stuff going on there. There was a lot of just, I don't want to say unfinished, but kind of loosely finished penciling. A lot of the backgrounds were not as rich. This is fully realized. You're getting your money's worth when these two team up. I think Chan just finds Buscema to be just an incredibly easy base for which to work on. More court dwarves here. Love the fur hats in this issue. Conan's a prisoner, but you know how that's going to go. Not for long. As you can see here, he goads the jailer into coming too close. And this dwarf here is going to help. Here's Conan wielding that double-bladed battle axe. Oh yeah, look at that. What a Cthulhu-like monster that is. Oh no, the poor dwarf is devoured. With a gargantuan bellow that sets the labyrinth trembling and all but drowns out the piteous shrieking of the doomed and dangling dwarf, the monster tightens its tentacled grip on its futilely struggling victim and stuffs the little man whole into its gaping, pulsating maw. Really cool. Just feast your eyes on that artwork. It's just unbelievable. Really cool stuff. Oh, throwing the axe as only he can. Then, rarely do we see Conan wield a spear, but here he does. Very cool. And that, folks, we finish off with a couple more Alex Toth pinups. Shoot, we got a half a dozen or more of them here. Really great. And again, we did see these reprinted in that The Art of Savage Sword of Conan hardcover that I covered on the show a bunch of episodes ago. Now we get some Pablo Marcos here. No slouch himself. And that is it. That has been my read-through of The Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 6 from Dark Horse, published in 2009. The essential Savage Sword of Conan, if you will. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.